Hello, my name is Jackson Spaghetti Boy McMurray.
And my name is Adeline Italiana McMurray.
I don't think you could say that. I don't think you're allowed to say that.
Am I not allowed to say that? We're not any part Italian. That's a
No,
lie.
0% Italian. Try again. Hi, my name is Jackson Spaghetti Boy McMurray.
My name is Adeline Meatball McMurray.
There we go, and this is No Nerds Allowed.
Wow, dodge that saucy boy.
God, people would have been on our ass if we had said that. God, can you imagine if we had said that?
The world will never know. I've been taking like a stroll down internet memory lane.
Wait,
My
don't you
favorite-
want to know why I'm Spaghetti Boy?
Why are you you know what? I think I know why you're spaghetti boy. You're just
Oh.
on that spaghetti life, you know.
What's your prediction?
Your palms are sweaty, knees are sweaty.
No, it's
Mom's
because
sweaty.
just just like Eminem said.
Yeah.
Knees.
Is that song by Eminem?
Yeah, Lose Yourself by Eminem. That's his most famous song.
You know what? You're right.
Adeline, I'm gonna need you to
Yeah.
pay attention to the world around you.
I should.
Anyway,
why are you sweaty?
I'm Sweaty Spaghetti Boy because today I successfully made myself some spaghetti without making a big fucking mess.
What's the vine of the lady making spaghetti and she's like recording herself like pouring the noodles into the water and she just pours all of the noodles straight onto the ground?
That's usually what I do, but today,
That's my
not
signature
today.
move.
Today, I was better than that. Today,
Hey Jackson, do you want to know what the steps of making spaghetti are?
I know what the steps of making spaghetti are. I'm very
Boil
familiar with. Do you want me to
water.
tell you?
Put some hot steamy nudes in the water. And then you wait a little bit, and then you take the nudes out of the water. How do you fuck this up so bad repeatedly?
Can I tell you? Can I give you a little insight into my experience as a person with a wheat allergy?
Oh, truth. But it's still fucking
corn
noodles, dude. You just boil some
okay.
water.
No, hold on. There's an important detail with the corn noodles.
Oh,
What happens when you boil corn noodles is that they produce corn starch. And when you mix corn starch with water...
are you serious?
Yeah, no, for real. So
you make slime every time you make noodles?
Pretty much. It's a balancing act. If you make the water too hot, it turns into sludge.
Wow,
So
you think they wouldn't do that? You think they
it's
would
pretty
make
gross.
them specifically so that they wouldn't do that.
But if you do it just right and you make sure the water is hot enough but not too hot right at the beginning, and then you just dump them in and you do it exactly right, then the water doesn't turn into sludge. But oftentimes it does.
What did we used to call slime before there was the big slime craze? Was it flubber?
Are you thinking of Oobleck?
Oobleck. Man,
After
those are the good old days.
Mr. Seuss?
Yeah.
Senor Seuss?
Those are the good times. Before
Seuss,
we just started calling
MD.
them slime.
I am pretty over slime, I think.
I
But you know
still-
what? The
I
thing
see-
about that, now that I have said it out loud, I'm pretty sure everyone's pretty much over slime, so I don't know why I'm even
I still
complaining
like
about
slime.
it.
I'm down with slime. I like the videos of people doing stuff with slime, but it's got to be like special slime. Like you got to catch my interest. It can't just be like, oh, I made some like green slime. Then I'm like, get that Nickelodeon ass shit out of here. I don't care. But if you make like fluffy slime, or it's like pink, or you put some like Charmies and glitter in there, then I'm
Right.
back. Then you got me. But like, if you're just making like regular ass slime, get that crap out of my house. I don't need
Right.
that.
Okay, you want to know a separate but unrelated thing that has been on my mind today?
Sure.
This is gonna become dangerously close to making fun of people who are young for not knowing things that I know.
Okay.
But I'm trying to
Sorry
not make
that I've
it
never
exactly
heard of
that.
toilet paper.
But okay. So there are a handful of kids at the open mic night that I go to who are in high school. I'm not going to dox them. But
Jiminy Cricket.
But
from school.
None of them, 0 for 4, none of them know the song Mr. Brightside by the Killers.
Even if you play it?
If I play it, they're like, oh yeah, I kind of know that song. I think I've heard it before.
That's like, that song's like come back in a big way. Maybe
yeah, and I feel like it has. It seems not right that they would have never heard it, because it feels like I hear it all the time, even without myself just playing it.
People are making jokes all about it all the time. There's different pictures. It's like I've been coming out of my cage and I've been feeling just fine.
That's right. It just seems odd. Where's my Mr. Brightside teenagers at? What's up with them?
Well, they've turned into you. Is that?
I guess so. I guess they've just turned into me. Maybe this is just the start of it. You know, maybe this is the first phase. They've just turned into all of the 20-year-olds around you. That's where they went. They're not teenagers anymore. I know. I guess this is just the first phase of like being out of touch.
Yeah.
It's like it's starting right now.
You don't like slime. You're yelling at the teenagers. You're getting out of touch, Jackson.
And like. You want to hear the worst version of this phenomenon though?
Sure.
We've gone through a lot of different topics in this intro, but I'm okay with it. I had somebody at Domino's order a pickup pizza under the name Inigo Montoya, which is fine. This happens every once in a while.
Occupational hazard.
Right, it is. And they made their like 7-year-old kid come up and
Jackson,
what?
You've already told this story on the podcast.
Have I?
Yes. Jackson abort. Get out of here.
Are you super sure?
I'm super mega sure. I
don't know. Have I just told it to you in person? I feel like I would have remembered.
No, we talked about it on the podcast. I specifically remember. Jackson, you gotta get out of here, man.
And there's a twist. This is a separate time.
It's a different little girl.
Thing. And then the little girl grew up to be Madonna.
Oh my god. Wow.
Yeah, so isn't that an incredible story that happened to me recently?
It doesn't matter where you come from or what weird thing your nerdy ass parents make you do.
Right. Anyway,
for anybody who didn't be Madonna.
For anybody who didn't listen to that episode of the podcast, the end of the story is that they made their kid come up and then made fun of them for that they didn't know how to say Inigo Montoya, and I was mad about it. But also, that was not that time. It was a different time.
It was a different time.
So, hey, Adeline.
Hey, Jackson.
What was your pick for the film that we watched?
Well, it's not really my pick. I didn't like seek it out, but just like we got do the next. Wow, let me start that over. We're gonna start that over. No, do it. No, Jackson. No, it's this. Let's go start over. The movie.
This one's even worse than the last one. Start again.
The next Pixar movie is A Bug's Life, so we're watching A Bug's Life.
Yeah, we watched Toy Story, and now we're gonna watch A Bug's Life. Hey.
Fun fact. No, I get to talk. It's my turn. Shut the fuck up.
Fine.
Fun fact about me. I have a weird beef with DreamWorks because I don't like the way they handle their franchises. But in high school, I wrote a paper comparing Pixar to DreamWorks and how Pixar was just so much better than DreamWorks. And I don't remember the numbers, so this isn't going to be any interesting. But Bug's Life is Pixar's lowest grossing movie of all time. And DreamWorks' lowest grossing movie of all time was The Road to El Dorado.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Which is weird because The Road to El Dorado is now a cult classic, and A Bug's Life is not.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of liked it. I mean, I like this movie. I don't think it's bad, but it's just not really quite on the same level.
Yeah.
Hold on just a second. So, I tried to talk you into restructuring this Pixar series.
Yeah.
Into us watching the movies in order of the connectivity, or let me start that over.
From this,
In chronological order, according to the Pixar timeline theory that everything's connected.
the stupid one that doesn't work.
Right. No, shush. Yes, it does. It's great.
Okay.
And I'm just looking through, I've never, like, read this thing fully.
Yeah.
And I had always assumed that Brave was the first one.
Yeah.
But then looking into it, The Good Dinosaur is the first one.
Yeah,
Which,
wait,
you know what? That tracks.
What is that movie called?
The Good Dinosaur.
Oh, I thought it was The Littlest Dinosaur. The bravest dinosaur.
What's the end of the timeline? What's the horrible end future?
Probably Wreck-It.
Whoa. Okay.
It's WALL-E, isn't it?
No.
What?
So apparently this is fucking wild. Okay.
Whoa.
WALL-E takes place before Cars.
Oh, yeah, because, like, the world ends and the cars take over.
Right. And then after that is A Bug's Life. And then after A Bug's Life...
No.
And then after A Bug's Life is Monsters, Inc.
What?
So Monsters, Inc. is the very true end of the world. This is like the heat death of the universe is happening to Mike and Sully.
So the world ends. That's okay. The world ends after WALL-E, even though we tried so hard in WALL-E to not have the world end. Fine, whatever. But then cars inherit the earth. That's fine, whatever. But in Cars, there are bug cars. That's specifically a thing that they established. So they're bugs like the car,
right.
And they're the bugs in the world, and it's very funny. And Larry the Cable Guy eats one or something, but.
And they turn back into bugs.
Yeah, they turned. Are you telling me that they did the cars evolve back into people? Did Boo used to be a car? Did Boo used to be a car?
Okay, so this theory posits that the same magic which came from the witch from Brave,
okay,
that allows toys in Toy Story to come to life when they are loved by a human.
Yeah.
This also applies to the cars that people love in their lives.
But where the fuck are the people?
So, presumably, cars never really have much time to socialize because they're really big and being looked at most of the time. But when the people are all killed by WALL-E, what happens in WALL-E? When the people are all killed by WALL-E, and the cars are left to their own devices, they inherit the earth because they have been alive this whole time, much like the toys. I don't know where the toys are, but cars.
So wait, are there not monsters? Do the cars all evolve into monsters? So there's no God in this universe, right? Because there's no way he would allow this to happen.
Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to send you a link to the website I'm looking at.
Oh, God.
We can take a second and, like, read over it for ourselves, and then we'll come back and continue the discussion.
I kind of want to know is the least amount as possible. Like, is this, like, do people agree with this? Did you show this to John Lasseter?
So, okay, let's see.
Wow, this website just gave me the fakest Spotify, like, advertisement of all time. It's buyspotify.com, and the bullet points are cheapest price, fast delivery, fast support answer, 3 to 24 months of subscription.
You know what this means? This means that the monsters in Monsters, Inc. are stealing their energy from the past. That's the fucking biggest time paradox of all time. We're about to crack this thing wide open.
Wait, hold on. Nope, never mind. I misread. No, this one says that Cars happens and then WALL-E happens. And how the fuck does that make any sense? Why do you think
no, because...
Why do they think... Why? What the... No, this is dumb.
They've split WALL-E into two. They split WALL-E into two. WALL-E happens around the timeline of Cars.
Oh, but so when all the people come back, There's just a car society.
But they don't come back, do they?
Yes, that's the end of the movie. They come back and they plant the shoe with the plant in it.
I don't remember how that movie ends. Maybe it's... Oh, wait. Maybe they're suggesting that by the time Monsters, Inc. happens, there are people back on the Earth.
Yeah, but why does Bug's Life take place so far in the future? It's about like we see they go to a trailer. It's like it takes around the same place as Toy Story. Like if you were just like, hey, also Bug's Life happened in like the 90s. I'd be like, duh.
They're bugs.
Why does it take place in 2898? Why does that there's like a trailer park with a car park next to it. Why is it in the distant future?
No, Adeline, that car was alive and part of Car Society, and so
You're
was
right,
that trailer.
right.
They were sentient.
Yeah, they were husband and wife.
God, I really want to do this now. Can we please?
But we already fucked it up because we watched Toy Story first.
I guess, but like we could just skip over the ones and talk about them. I don't know, whatever. We don't have to do it. I just want to talk about this a lot because it's fucking hilarious to me.
Yeah, it's the worst. It makes no sense. Hey, John Negrani? Did he write a book about this?
Yeah, this guy's got his own website with like this very serious infographic.
He wrote 2 books about this?
Books. The Pixar Detective is a book written by this guy. Okay.
Oh, wow, it looks like someone on DeviantArt wrote and drew this. Oh, no.
Yeah. Oh, no. Welcome to The Pixar Detective. This is a serial novel that tells a new story within the background of the Pixar movies.
Oh, this is DeviantArt.
What the
Oh, no.
fuck?
Get out. Get out of there, John.
What the fuck? Why is this the first thing that comes up when I search for this theory?
Why does she... Oh, my God. One of them is fire powers, and one of them is a little fluffy monster, and it's... Oh, wow.
Holy shit, there's 30 chapters.
Wow. Oh, wow. Oh, this is... Oh, God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Oh, whoa. Okay,
Oh my
so I'm
God.
looking at this tab that says theories.
Is that Squirrel Girl?
I'm gonna check out
Oh my God.
some Cars 3 theories.
I'm just like going through like the chapters, like not clicking on them, and they have like little things of like art for all of the chapters.
Right.
And they're all hilarious. Oh man. Like, how old is this person? How old is John? I thought this was like an adult man, but maybe it's not.
This person has a whole bunch of like op-ed pieces, and some of them are labeled snarkasm, where he writes joke articles about Pixar theories.
You can't have it both ways. You can't do both. Okay, so wait. He wrote like an actual graphic novel book called Killer Joy, but then he has this weird fan fiction thing going on that I don't get it.
This is so wild.
I kind of feel bad about talking about it because he's put a lot of effort into it. There's 30 chapters.
Yeah, I hope
But,
we give him some traffic.
But like, oh my God, there's one. It's this guy. He's got a hat. He's got a trench coat. He's got something that looks like Stitch on his shoulder. It's not Stitch. It's some other lovable furry guy. But he's sitting in a parking lot, and the Spirit of Adventure is landing in front of him. He's got the like back of his coat like bustling in the wind, and it's very good.
So, Adeline, Bug's Life.
Yeah. Oh my God. Chapter 24 is called Anyone Can't Cook.
Anyway.
Okay.
God. Okay. Can we read this? Can we read this and check back?
God, you're gonna make me read this?
I mean, not in this episode,
Yeah, I
but
know,
I want
I
this
know,
to
I
have
know.
like, I want this to be like a segment we do. I wanna read these. I want
Just
to
go
really
chapter by
badly.
chapter. Okay. Can we talk about A Bug's Life?
Hold on. One sec. I'm just clicking through to see what kind of format these are in. I don't know if it's a graphic novel or a real novel with some illustrations. Okay, so this is a novel with some illustrations. Let's see. How do we want to play this? Let's read a chapter before next week, and we can discuss chapter 1.
Can you just look at chapter 28 for me real quick? And I need you to describe what this picture is.
Okay, gotcha. Chapter 28. Chapter 28 is called The Magic Words.
Yep,
It pictures what appears to be a bald vampire from the movie Blade.
Yeah.
In front of a helicopter which is taking off and leering at the camera.
Yep.
So, I can only presume that, I don't know, was Pixar involved in Blade?
Away. This was written by a grown-ass man. Like, I would feel bad if a 13-year-old had written this. I'd be like, good for them. You know what? They really like Pixar. They want to write a thing in the background of movies. Good for them. But the fact that it's a grown-ass man, I'm just like, how did you... Who is this? Who is this for? Because it can only be for him, right?
Right. I like chapter 21, which features a guy weeping over his desk with a corkboard with a whole bunch of red string tying news articles together.
It's literally that scene from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
God, this is so great. I love this. Okay. All of our listeners, all of our mini listeners, I want you to check out johnnegroni.com. That's JONNEGRONI.com. And we're going to have a book club, okay? Every week. Every week we're going to read a new chapter and come back and discuss.
Hey, Jackson.
What?
What if it's really good?
What? Then we'll say so. I hope it's really good.
What are you going to do if it's really good?
Then I would just be excited about it.
I mean, yeah.
Part 1 is called A Jaunt Through Time.
Oh my god. Do you want to talk about A Bug's Life?
Yeah, okay, so A Bug's Life. The first thing that I have written down is just that this movie looks fucking great.
Oh.
Like, the world feels so, like, tactile in it. And especially for, like, 1998.
Truth.
Like... It's like so much cleaner than Toy Story was. Like, it's leaps and bounds ahead of itself.
That is true. What I don't like about this movie is that it doesn't set up the space that we're in very well. I feel like I'm in, like, the Windows, like, default desktop. And that, like, if I look over the, like, horizon, it's just gonna, like, go into, like, whiteness. Like, I feel like this isn't a real place. I feel like I'm in a computer simulation.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't feel that way at all.
I really feel that. And I think it's because we never really establish where we are. And when we do, it's in a very small area. So, like, we only see, like, the island and that, like, small little meadow around it, and that's all we really see. So it just made me feel like there was nothing beyond that, but, like, in, like, an existential way, not in, like, there's nothing there. Just, like, it's just gonna be whiteness. It's gonna be, like, the end of The Matrix. It's gonna be the end of The Truman Show.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. To me, it was just, like, these things are rendered so well, I guess, that just, like... I just sort of took it at face value. It's like, okay, here's where we are. And I don't know. I just felt, like, deeply immersed in the world. Especially, like, all these little things, like, the way that, like, water behaves, because it's really small and it's not, like, flowing around.
Yeah, it's
they
just, like, big droplets.
Pick it up as a droplet. I think that's really clever. And, like, the sound editing is really cool.
Sound editing is great.
Yeah, like, they have all these really creative ways to, like, make things feel real on that tiny scale that I think is just, like, really immersive. And
they do a good job of making things seem really big. Like,
yeah,
they do a really good job of making you feel small without making it, like, they don't make things feel small, they make things feel big, which makes you feel small, you know? Like, they don't make it claustrophobic, they, like, just make it seem huge so that you're like, whoa, look at this big leaf.
Right.
It's exactly what you're like. Look at this big leaf.
Yeah. But speaking of that big leaf, that bit at the very beginning where there's the ant line and, like, a leaf falls off the tree in front of one of the guys and they just, like, freak the fuck out is really good. I think that's really funny. Good. It's interesting, though, because I think what it's meant to really do is, like, sort of put Flick apart from the rest of the colony, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Like, the rest of the colony, and it's not that they are that way on purpose or that they value this kind of thing, but it's just, like, for the most part, they don't have the capacity to, like, to be unique or think for themselves, you know?
Yeah.
If a leaf falls in front of them, they're just like, what the fuck? What do I do? I don't understand. Like, if I can't just follow the person immediately in front of me, I have no skills. Which, I don't know, it's kind of interesting because that doesn't seem to be quite the thematic idea of the movie.
Yeah.
It almost is, but like not quite. I don't know.
It's touched upon.
Yeah, to me what the movie is about plain and simple about like economic oppression, right? It's about like people being extorted, and it's like really, it's super, super cut and dry. Like, oh, the elite can just take from you because you're doing all the work, but you have power over them because you are the one who's actually supplying things to them and all these kinds of things.
I mean, there's
I'll just say they put a lot of value on the ants themselves and their value to the world, right? So it seems almost a little bit contrary that we set them up as being so mindless, you know?
Well, but I mean, that's why they've allowed themselves to be taken over by the grasshoppers.
I guess that's
like,
true.
They talk about tradition so much. They're just like, this is how it's always been. They come, they take the food, they leave. Like, this is just what we do. These are traditions. We literally just talked about this in my philosophy class. Right. Oh, by the way, I'm taking a philosophy class, so that just means I'm going to be insufferable for the rest of forever. Okay. Just so you know. That's just going to be your life now.
Okay, well, everybody who goes through college has to take or no, I'm thinking of psychology. Never mind, whatever.
Yeah, so sit the fuck down, Jackson. Anyway, but Hopper has that line where he's like, where he does the thing where like, this is way farther in the movie, but where he dumps that bunch of seeds on the guy, and he's like, a bunch of ants all together could easily take us down. And all I could think of is the Area 51 raid that was called They Can't Stop All of Us.
They can't. What does that have to do with your philosophy class?
What?
Why did you preface that with saying it reminded you of something from your philosophy class?
Oh, no, because we were just talking about traditions. And how, because we watched... Do you want me to talk about what we're doing in our philosophy class?
No, I just wanted... What I wanted you to say was that you and your class went to the raid on Area 51.
Oh, no. That was before the quarter started. Extracurricular, whoever wants to come to the Area 51 raid.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, it's just like I don't know what it is, but I just feel so like immersed in that world. It could be that I watched this movie a lot as a kid. Might be part of it. But like, it was one of the VHSs that our grandparents had at their house. Right?
Was it? No.
Yeah.
No, it was not.
It definitely was.
Maybe you watched it a lot at Grammy and Papa's house, because I know exactly what VHSs are at Grammy and Papa's house, and I don't remember A Bug's Life being one of them. I have
very, very vivid memories of watching it there, because I know that we didn't have it ourselves, but I do remember, like, seeing it many a time, and I know that I can even picture the VHS spine, like, next to all the rest of them. Like,
we should just review all of the VHSs at Grammy and Papa's house.
Yeah, instead of doing Pixar, we just go through their VHS collection.
That'd be really good. Let's do that.
That would be funny. I'll think about it. I also want to say that the grasshopper designs are fucking rad as hell.
Oh, dude, Hopper is cool as hell.
Yeah, no, they do a really good job of making them, like, scary. They look like fucking Bionicles.
Yeah. No, they look like the Predator from The Predator.
Yeah, they totally look like the Predator. I mean, they don't look like the Predator at all. They look more like Alien than the Predator. But
listen, Alien and the Predator are brothers.
I don't think that's right. I think that they are mad at each other. They fight in a few movies.
Yeah,
so I don't think
brothers.
I guess brothers do fight.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're brothers per se.
Well,
I would say they're more like...
Jackson, you could have torn me down so easily because everyone on the planet knows that the alien from Alien is a she. So, God, Jackson, come on.
Wait, no, that's not a thing, is it?
That's absolutely a thing.
Okay, but you didn't know the name of the protagonist from Alien.
She's a lady.
Hold on. I'm not trying to be like, that can't be. I just feel like I would know that if it were the case. Hold on.
It's absolutely a thing. Listen, the alien said women's rights.
Alien gender. I don't know if this is an appropriate...
You're gonna get a lot of porn, I'm just gonna tell you now.
Okay, that doesn't give me what I want at all.
Well, now I have to burn my computer.
Alien from Alien gender.
Yeah, you know what? Looking back on it, maybe calling the movie Alien was kind of a mistake.
No, that doesn't give you that either. When I type in alien gender, it's just a lot of news articles about people who are defining themselves as genderless aliens, which is whatever.
I don't want
Alien 1979. Alien
gender.
Hold on. Okay. Is there like an alien wiki? God, this is so hard to Google.
Yeah, why are you...
It's like trying to find a picture of a person's knuckles.
Just look up human knuckles.
Xena, no, Adeline, okay.
Jackson, I know. Jackson,
Okay.
I know. Don't mansplain meme culture to me.
Okay. Hold on. This is really important to me and I'm too deep into this now.
Okay.
So I can't just give up now. Media. Films, Alien. I'm playing the Wikipedia game on the Xenopedia.
For people who hate people from foreign countries.
No, because like xenomorphs.
Yeah, I know, Jackson.
Okay. Hold on. God, why can't I just find out if the alien is a...
Identifies her as he or her.
The alien.
It's a she. Because she lays eggs.
Gender, hermaphroditic. So, Adeline, maybe you need to take a hard look at yourself.
I want her to be a lady. and that's what defines your gender. It's what other people want you to be.
Do the aliens from Alien...
Yeah.
Are they like people or are they like animals? Or like kind of in between?
I haven't seen the film, so...
You haven't seen any of them?
No, because I walked in the room when you were watching one of them and the guy's arm got broke and I didn't want that.
Okay,
then you were talking about one where she gives birth to an alien and it explodes in her womb and I didn't want that.
Yeah, that was fucking gross. That was Prometheus.
Yeah.
That ruled school.
Yeah, I don't fucking want that, Jackson. I would literally rather die than watch that movie.
That wasn't the original, though.
Yeah, I
Chill
know,
out.
but like, it's gross. And doesn't like an alien burst out of somebody's stomach?
Yeah, but it was also 1979.
Isn't that like the most famous thing of all time? Is
cool.
the alien bursting out of that guy's stomach?
You need to stop being a wuss about movies, I think.
Yeah, listen, it's because I'm 19 Gregorian years old, so I still have baby brain when it comes to media.
You gotta fight your baby brain.
Like, what?
You gotta fight your baby brain.
Yeah, I know, because like everything that I've ever been told about media when I was like little, it's like, oh, don't watch that, it's scary. But 19-year-old me is still like, I can't watch that, that's scary.
Honestly, I mean, I know I've said this to you before.
Yeah.
But, like, when you finally just, like, start watching R-rated movies and, like, horror movies and just go for it, nothing is ever as bad as you think it's going to be when you're 13.
No, absolutely. Well, see, my thing, I'm pretty okay with gore, but I don't like anatomical stuff. I can't do rib cage stuff. I don't know what it is. I don't like seeing organs, like, inside of rib cages. I can't do it. I don't like it.
There's a bit in one of the new ones. I can't remember...
Where a guy's ribcage explodes.
No. Where... I don't remember if this is Prometheus or Alien Covenant. But there's a bit where they, like, take the alien, like, egg sac out of somebody surgically.
Yeah.
But then it, like, explodes in their hands all over the guy that they're taking it out of.
Yeah.
And it's real gross and it rules.
Okay, yeah, see, I'm never watching Prometheus. I'm not doing it.
Alien Covenant's pretty good, though. I think you should see Alien Covenant. You want to know a real thing that happens in Alien Covenant?
What, does a guy's brain explode into another lady's womb?
Even worse.
Great.
Michael Fassbender
has human sex?
Kisses his own clone. That really happens in Alien Covenant.
Wowie, wowie, wow, wow, wowie, wow, wow,
yeah,
wow.
Man, it's a good old movie.
Wow. Oh, wow.
There's a bit where Michael Fassbender teaches his clone how to play the flute, but there's a lot of sexual tension in it.
Yeah, because it's a flute, the sexiest instrument of all time. Okay, does he is it like a peck, or is it like that scene in Harry Potter where Harry and Hermione make out in Ron's nightmare?
It is not a peck, but it is not an open-mouthed kiss. It's somewhere in between.
Okay. It's
a chaste kiss.
Okay, so Jackson,
yeah.
You got a clone,
right?
And he's like, "What's up? I'm Jackson number 2. Do you kiss him?"
Me? No.
Yeah.
Michael Fassbender?
Yes. Very yes.
He does.
Much yes. It's like you would probably be like close to your clone, because it's just like you. It's like, do you want to give your clone a hug? I'd be like, yeah, that's just me. But it's like, do you want to give him a little kiss? I'm like, no.
Here's something I'm thinking about. Maybe if we have any queer listeners, you could cue me into this. If you are, because to me that thought is just like, no. I mean, it's not like repulsive, but it's just like, no, I don't want to do that. Is that because I don't want to kiss any man, or would any person not want to do that? Or if I was attracted to men, would I be more into the thought of kissing my own clone? I want to hear from people on that.
It's not like a homophobic thing that makes it gross. It's the fact that it's you. You're not sexually attracted to yourself, because if you are, you're a psychopath. Like, it's not.
I don't know.
It's not.
I don't want to speak for people, Adeline.
Okay.
I want to listen.
You know what, Jackson? When you get a clone, you could go ahead and kiss him and see how you feel.
No, I just want to see if other people do.
Have other people kiss your clone?
Maybe. Wait, no, that's not part of it.
Man, I didn't realize that Clone Jackson was such a slut.
I'll kiss Michael Fassbender's clone. I'll do that.
Well, that's fine. No one's got a problem with that.
This episode has gone so off the rails.
Yeah, we are not talking about Bugs Life anymore.
Should we just say that this episode is about Alien Covenant?
No, because I don't want... No.
Because we've talked more about Alien Covenant than we have talked about A Bug's Life at this point.
But I'm not going to watch it if a lady's womb explodes. That's what I thought was going to happen in A Bird Box, and I hated it.
Anyway.
And then A Bird Box sucked. Anyway, it's not called A Bird Box.
A Bird Box. Anyway.
A Bug's Life, A Bird Box.
So yeah, let's talk about the title A Bug's Life. Because it's just, like, really vague and super not at all pertains to anything in the movie.
No, it's a bad title. I mean, Toy Story is not a particularly good title either.
That's maybe even...
brainwashed.
Yeah, that's maybe even more vague than A Bug's Life, now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, so the year is 1990 something, and your friend walks up to you, and they're like, "Hey, there's a new movie. It's called Toy Story. Do you want to go see it?"
No, I don't. I really don't, actually.
I think the answer's no, because what the hell is that movie about? What are we talking about?
Yeah, I guess Pixar has always had really nondescript names. Like... Yeah.
I mean, Monsters, Inc. is good.
Monsters, Inc. is really good. It's a really evocative title, I think.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, ooh, Monsters Incorporated. What does that mean?
Yeah.
Is it about Wolves of Wall Street? No, it's about actual monsters? Oh, do tell. Like, it's a very good title.
Finding Nemo is okay.
It's good.
It doesn't convey
it at least
what the movie is about.
About something that's happening in the movie.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean,
like at least, yeah, they are finding for Nemo.
Right. It's like, you know that like there's a character who's presumably named Nemo who is lost, so we're gonna go try to find them. What we don't know though is that everybody's a fish, and I feel like that is kind of important.
Yeah, you're right.
What's after that?
You're very right.
Cars.
Also, we get... Oh, God, Cars. Dude, there's nothing good about Cars. I've, kind of realized something about myself. I don't think I like the Cars movies.
I don't know. The first one and the third one are both pretty okay.
Look at the story. Okay, it's the story of... It's but they just... The story does not rely on them being cars. It just doesn't.
Right.
There's no reason for them to be cars.
Yeah, but there's no reason for the people in Alien to be people, and that's still a good movie. They could be cars if you wanted them to be.
No, you're making the opposite point.
I know.
You're proving my point.
What do you mean I'm proving your point? I'm saying in Alien Covenant, If the two Michael Fassbenders were both cars, it would be just as good.
Do not put the image of two cars from Cars kissing in my head. What is wrong with you?
Even if they're both Michael Fassbender?
They don't show you that in the Cars movies because they know it's taboo and terrible. How dare you? John Lasseter would be infuriated.
I don't think he would be. I think he'd be into it.
No, because he's a big old pervert.
Yeah,
don't worry about John Lasseter. Yeah, he's a big old pervert. He made the Cars movies. He knew what he was doing.
It's really funny to me that, like, for some reason, like, John Lasseter directed Toy Story 1 and Toy Story 2 and Bug's Life.
Yeah. And he made out with a bunch of interns or something.
And then, no, he was just, like, basically he was just, like, a super creepy guy that, like, made everybody really uncomfortable. And he was, like, big into not hiring women in, like, creative positions.
Into making cars kiss and cars.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's pretty much it. It's one of those things that's, like, in the grand scheme of things, and, like, in terms of all the people in the world that exist, it really wasn't so horrible, but it's still just, like, yeah, no, we should still get this guy out of here if we
it's
can.
still like, John, come on.
But anyway, and then, you know, he, like, let some other people in. Different people did, like, Finding Nemo and Monsters, Inc., and then he was like, Cars, that's my next one. I'm gonna direct Cars.
Gotcha.
Everyone was like, okay, sure, yeah, this is the new Lasseter joint, is Cars. And then, like, he didn't direct anything for, like, a few years until he did Cars 2. That was the last movie that he directed, was Cars 2.
Man, John is a big pervert.
For some reason, that was the thing that brought him back into directing.
For Cars.
Yeah.
I'm tired of talking about John Lasseter.
So, yeah, I mean, I want to talk about the...
We literally haven't even talked about the main character of A Bug's Life
no, we
yet.
did briefly. So Flick is...
No, we didn't.
Like, I talked about how it's setting him apart from Flick. Flick is, like, this free thinker, this, like, inventor who, like, nobody really understands, and they all kind of make fun of him, but he knows that he's right because he knows that he's really smart and he can make these inventions. Kind of like the plots of most other children's movies. For some reason, we really like protagonists in kids' movies to be inventors. I don't know where that started, but that's like a whole thing, and I don't know why.
Yeah, and like when you think about all the inventors that like exist in the modern world, there kind of like aren't any.
Yeah, I mean, you could argue like
there's people who invent stuff, but no one just like sits down and invents things,
right?
You know, like it's always a part of something else. Unlike in kids' movies, where it's just like I just make shit. I don't know.
Right. Well, yeah, I was gonna say, and in the modern day, I think the people that were like inventors, quote unquote, are more like app developers or like tech people.
I hated that.
They're inventing like sort of computer-based things rather than like an object you could use, or even like. You know, like Uber. I think that was like an invention, you know?
Yeah.
I think that's the modern equivalent of the inventor, quote unquote.
And not making a big weird thing to take seeds off of trees.
Right, yeah. I want to watch a movie where Flick invents the rideshare app.
And then a bunch of women get murdered and then they have to send out a lot of PSAs.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they give you a refund of your ride, and that's it. They don't tell anybody that you got murdered.
They refund your estate the $8 you spent on the ride.
Yeah. And then they don't tell anybody that you got murdered, and the guy keeps driving the car.
I want to talk about the rest of the cast. You know what? I should start with when we go to the big city, because that is a place to me that is just so, like, goofily rendered, but also, like, deeply tactile.
Yeah.
That it just feels really, really immersive in the way that just, like, everything is, like, so perfect. Like, it's so detail-oriented.
I mean, that's the reason why there's a Bug's Life world at California Adventure. It's not because people love Bug's Life, because they don't, but it's because they made such a good world.
They made a great
that
world.
It was super easy to make it to a theme park. Yeah.
I literally wrote that down. I was like, I'm really glad that they chose A Bug's Life to be a Disneyland, because, like, it's kind of the best choice. Like, it really feels good to be there.
Yeah, they
it's
made a
cool.
great world. Also, the Cars Land at Disneyland
Also
is
really cool.
the tightest thing.
Yeah, man.
It's so cool.
It's the best.
And you know why it's so cool? It's because there's no living cars there. It's
Yeah,
just
there are.
regular people because it's Disneyland. They run it. They drive around.
Come around.
They are there. I take that back.
Does
Fucking Larry the Cable Guy just sits there and stares at you through a window.
I'm trying to think if Michael Fassbender is in any of the Cars movies.
Well, because you know he would kiss another car,
Right.
so they can't allow him into
Yeah, I
the
don't
movie
think he
series.
is. I don't think he is. I was trying to remember who played the fast race car in the third one, but that was Armie Hammer. So yeah, I don't think he is. That was just for me. Anyway.
Okay. That was for me. For later. Wink.
What are some other good worlds in Disneyland that are like based on movies and stuff?
I mean, they did some fun things where they started making things for the lands. I mean, like a Princess and the Frog, not 100% because of this, but they definitely made it in Louisiana so they could put Tiana in the Louisiana zone in Disneyland.
Right. It's so weird that Disneyland is like, the majority of it is just like these weird themes that are not like connected to anything.
Well, it's because when they made Disneyland, they had like 2 movies.
Right.
And so they were like, well, there's Fantasyland and Louisiana.
Right, well,
it's like, okay,
it's
cool.
also before...
I keep saying Louisiana. I mean New Orleans. I'm so sorry.
That's in Louisiana.
Oh, is it? Oh, I nailed it. Never mind.
Yeah.
I've been right the whole time.
But it's interesting to think that it was before home video too, right? So like this idea of these movies being like so special and like so recognizable wasn't really a thing yet. Like if you made a
they were
world,
like spectacles.
yeah, if you made a world based on Snow White, you know, like, and you made it so that it looked exactly like it does in the movie, nobody would really be able to appreciate it, you know? Because, like...
Well, because they've only seen the movie
You saw that movie once
twice.
and it was, like, 30 years ago. So, like...
Yeah.
But that's, like, so different now. Like, people are so much more familiar with the movies they like than they were in the olden days.
Oh, well, it's because, it's home video. You got to take it home with you and relive it.
I think home video
Relive
is,
the magic.
like, the most important thing that's ever happened to the world. TBH.
Probably, yeah. No, you're right.
Like, I mean, obviously
It's killing the movie industry.
Like,
Tinseltown.
Obviously, I'm being sarcastic, but, like, that it's so weird to me to think about, like, in 1970, if you were like, I would like to watch The Wizard of Oz, you could not.
Nope.
There was no
can't.
option. If you were born in 1940, you could not see The Wizard of Oz until probably, like, 1982. How wild is that?
Well, what I know about theaters at the time was that they would, because we have home video, like a movie is in the theaters and then it's not in the theaters anymore, and then it's on DVD and then you can go buy it. But like back in the day, like things were just like in the theaters like perpetually for a very long time.
And like having
because
screenings of older movies was more common.
Yeah, exactly. Well, because you have the period in, like, the 20s where there's, like, a movie a week. And in that case, then, yeah, they were out of there pretty quickly. But once you get into, like, the 50s, that's where it's, like I go to the movies every night. And it's, like, there's, like, same familiar movies there.
Right.
Because that was your only way to get stuff.
That's true.
Yeah. I really like Flick. I think he's a good classic character type.
Yeah, me too. I think it's really funny that they, like, really clearly wanted to get Jerry Seinfeld, but couldn't.
Yeah. Like, was that... Did they, like, ask Jerry Seinfeld? And he was like, no, I'm gonna make my own bug-centric movie someday.
No, I think...
like, did they were just, like...
I think they asked him, and he was like, no, animated movies are for chumps. I don't want to do that. And then he saw it, and it, like, made a bunch of money, and people really liked it, and he, like, totally, like, slapped himself in the forehead, and he was like, God damn it! I should have taken that role. And then he was like, I gotta recoup the losses, so I'm gonna make my own animated movie. And then he was just like, what are animated movie things? I don't know, I saw the one about bugs, so I'll also do a bug one. That's just what animated movies are about, I guess.
Yeah, it's like how every stop motion movie is about something creepy, every 3D animated movie is about bugs.
Right, exactly. What were you gonna say?
Do you think Jerry Seinfeld would kiss his own clone? Let me take that one more time because I stumbled over it and I really want to make sure that it gets out. Do you think that Jerry Seinfeld would kiss his own clone?
No.
You're very right. Yeah.
I think he would kiss a
He's a
16-year-old when he was like 35 or whatever that was.
I think if he was a car, he would kiss another car, but if he wouldn't kiss his own clone.
Anyway.
Other characters that were introduced to at the beginning of the movie. God, what time is it?
And it was
Wasn't
also
20 minutes?
It's also Julia Louis-Dreyfus was the queen. She's the girl from Seinfeld. So like clearly they're working in this world. They want that Seinfeld bump real bad.
They wanted to make Seinfeld, but they wanted all of the characters in Seinfeld to be bugs.
Right. Well, just 2 out of 3 of the important ones.
Yeah.
I really like the
not Short Man and not Crazy Man.
Right, and not Newman.
And not fuck Newman.
Newman
would kiss his own clone.
Oh yes, definitely. Okay, we need to that needs to be a reoccurring segment on this podcast.
Do they kiss their own clone?
Like every character that we talk about, do they kiss their own clone? YN. Anyway, I really like the little kids in this movie. I think the actors that do them are really funny. There's like whoever the little boy is that's like only on screen a few times is always just like, well, Spot! And he just has this great voice. He's so funny. I want to find that kid and figure out what he's doing now.
I want to find that kid. There's just like, this movie captures like children really well, even though they're like kids are weirdly vital to this plot, and I feel like the movie like doesn't really talk about it enough. Like it's kind of a cool like revolutionary like mindset that like the children are the future and they're the ones that are at the head front of change. Right. And I think that's a really cool thing to talk about that I feel like the movie kind of does but doesn't talk about. Because like you have the Girl Scouts are the ones that are flying the big bird at the end, and I think that's super dope. Yeah. But like I mean, they just capture children so well. Like, when they do the little play, and there's, like, the little girl in the front, she's like, Miss Hannigan's second grade class,
That's a really good...
would like to present. And, like, all the kids are, like, making stupid faces. And, like, during the play, one of the kids is just, like, really mad for no reason. Like, they just captured it so well.
I know, it's really funny.
Like, that's exactly what, like, an elementary school play is like.
So, hey, do you want to know a fun story about this podcast episode?
Yeah.
I've been just letting us go on these tangents because I know that we, like, don't really have, like, a huge amount to say about Bug's life, so I'm just, like, you know, doing my best to run out the clock. But here's the thing, is that we're almost an hour into this episode already. We've discussed very little of the movie.
Oh my god, what have we been talking about?
We've been talking about Alien Covenant.
And cars. This podcast can't be about A Bug's Life. What do we call this? Is this just
we're gonna go through, we're gonna keep talking about Bug's Life. I'm gonna title it, like, A Bug's Life, but mostly Alien Covenant.
A Bug's Life, but we talk about a bunch of other shit for, like, basically an hour.
Okay. The rest of the cast,
I was about to say this when you talked about... No, shut up, shut your mouth. I was gonna say this when you were talking about the Bug City. We're not all the way there, but, like... The problem with having your movie based about bugs is that some bugs are really scary. Right. And you have to do a lot to make bugs cute. Because bugs aren't cute, they're kind of God's real monsters. And so we have, like, these, like, that scene where he's, like, walking through the city and the, like, Daddy Longlegs, like, walks over him. And it's just, like, this menacing orb with long legs and no face. And it's maybe the scariest thing I've ever seen.
I think it has a face on the opposite side of it. You just don't get to see it.
But we never see it. And it freaks me out. I mean, I don't like it.
Honestly, I kind of like... Because most of the bugs are, like, obviously, like, cartoonified a bit. But they're not, like, too cuted up, you know?
Yeah.
Like, bugs that are gross are still pretty gross. Like, the flies are gross. Yeah. The fleas are gross.
Oh, I hate the flies.
Yeah.
The way that they make the flies move to, like, move realistically just, like, makes my skin crawl.
Yeah, exactly. It's, like, still
Fun fact about me, I do not like bugs.
Yeah. I don't know, and I think they walk a fine line, right? Of, like, not being, like, too kawaii about it, but also, like, the fact that they're bugs. This is what bugs look like.
They're bugs.
But yeah, I love this, like, circus cast. I think they're really fun. It's sort of...
I do love them. I think we have some really, really good characters in there. I feel like the cast is just a little bit too big.
That's fair.
big enough that I don't think we get to focus on everybody that we want to focus on.
Right.
But the dilemma that I have with saying that is I don't want to cut anybody.
Yeah.
I don't know who I want to cut.
Right.
But, like, something... it's a lot of characters, and we don't focus on any of them for long enough, except for really the ladybug.
Right.
Like, everybody else, we just, like, really don't focus on, and it feels very rushed and weird. Even though I like all of them, and I really enjoy all of them, there's just a lot of people standing in a room, you know?
I have a really big soft spot for, like, characters who are romantic couples, but the story's not at all about their relationship.
Yeah.
That's, like,
that's
one of my favorite things. Like, for some reason, that is, like, something that is always really appealing to me. So I know I don't want to cut the mantis and the moth.
Yeah, they're really cute.
You can't cut the spider and the beetle, because the beetle's the big one, and that's kind of plot relevant a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Maybe, maybe you cut the spider. Maybe you cut the spider and you just make the beetle smart like Beast from X-Men.
But I like Rose. She's nice, and she likes the kids, and she ties things. I like her.
So then, what about the racist roly-polies?
Yeah, we don't need the racist roly-polies. They do nothing. You can get the racist roly-polies out of here.
I mean, I guess they're not, I don't know, they're not really racist. They're just, like, the joke is that they don't speak English. I don't know, they're not a parody of any particular culture.
No, they're just, like, they do not speak
like
English.
European roly-polies, yeah. But yeah, like, okay, I do gotta say, though, that little bit right at the end when they're, like, putting on a circus show for the grasshoppers, and there's two little roly-polies just start beating the shit out of each other, and Kevin Spacey's like, now that's funny. That's fucking great. I think that's so good.
Oh, hey, another long list of perverts on this episode of the podcast.
Yeah.
Hey, Kevin.
And fucking, what's his name? Woody Allen made Ants. It's like, why are only pedophiles making ant movies?
Making bug adjacent movies. Yeah. Jerry Seinfeld's fine. I take that back. Never mind. Say what you will about Jerry Seinfeld. At least he's not a pervert.
Right. He did, no, there was that whole thing. He did, like, date a 17-year-old girl when he was, like, 30-something. That was a thing that happened. Oh,
never mind. They're all pedophiles.
I don't know. I have heard that. Maybe I should do some research before I just dox Jerry Seinfeld that. Because, you know, me saying that is really gonna hurt his reputation. Hold on. I want to be safe.
Yeah, no. He's gonna, like, call you tomorrow and he's gonna be like, Jackson, I thought
why did you say that? I have never done anything like that.
My wife listens.
Why did you say that about me?
Why did you say that?
I feel like mine was also not good, but yours just sounded like a 7-year-old who's crying.
Is that not what Jerry Seinfeld does?
Anyway.
Sorry, Jerry. I don't know what my opinion of Jerry is in this specific episode of this podcast.
I don't know. My general take on Jerry Seinfeld is just like, yeah, there's a lot of things that you cannot like about him, and you have the right to do so, but to me, I'm always just like, I don't know, let him do his thing. Like,
whatever, Jerry.
Yeah.
That's the opinion. Whatever, Jerry.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah, this whole movie, this is kind of unrelated, but I want to say it. This whole movie just feels like Pixar bragging about how many ants that they can have on screen at one time. Like, it feels like whenever you watch, like, an old GameCube advertisement, it's like, can generate 100 discrete pixels, and it's like, whoa.
It's like, there's Super Mario 128.
Yeah, there's 128 Super Marios, and look at them go. They're all kissing each other. It's sonically the worst. But just like times 128, and it's just the loudest thing on the planet.
God, that's so fucking good. This is the funniest episode I think we've ever had on this podcast.
We're not, God. It's also the biggest dumpster fire. What are we even talking about?
God.
Okay, literally, I felt bad because, like, this movie's not bad. I very much enjoy it. But there's just, like, not a lot to say. I literally wrote only a half a page of notes, and I'm already halfway through that. and I just feel bad
Right.
because we're not giving A Bug's Life any attention. But like,
Well, I don't know. I think A Bug's Life is interesting because like Pixar movies across the board are like known for being really unique, right? Like they have like really unique creative voices in their story, and the stories they're telling are like stuff you haven't seen before typically.
yeah,
This movie feels pretty typical in terms of like the story, you know? Like it's a little bit more ambitious than is normal, and I think it's really well executed. But like the story of like a guy who feels like he doesn't fit in with his like family or like crowd, like they get mad at him because he messes something up, so he goes and tries to find some people, and he thinks they're one thing but they're actually a different thing, and then at the end they find out and they're like, what, you lied to me? And he's like, but and it's like, no, I'm mad at you, and then he like makes it all good in the climax, and they like get back together, and he gets the girl at the end. It's just like, like this is like standard kids movie stuff, and it's not bad, but it's just like I've seen this before, you know?
yeah. Why doesn't anyone talk about Princess Ada? She's a Disney princess now.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus is a Disney princess.
Yeah, come on. This is just like a weird little thing. I really enjoy the type of princess that they show in this.
Right.
Because I feel it's like a type of princess that we don't really see in a lot of other kids media, where it's like we get a princess who actually has political responsibility a lot of the time. But I really like this like new to politics princess who's like messing it up and has a lot of pressure on her. Like, I don't know, I really like her character and how she kind of like deals with things, because she's kind of like, she's just like right outside the main plot, so she doesn't have a lot of control, and I just think that's really cool with her character, who's like kind of being forced to take control and she doesn't know how to do it, and there's a real threat of death and she doesn't know what to do about it. I think it's really good.
No, yeah, for like a female love interest in 1998, she's like surprisingly fleshed out as a character and like unique.
Yeah, totally.
And yeah, so okay, super quick, let's touch on Dennis Leary as the Ladybug.
It's not okay. It's not transphobic.
No.
I don't think.
It's weird because of how much of not a thing it is in this movie, right?
No, because they like, it's like kind of, it's at the very beginning, it's a joke where it's a ladybug, but it's a dude.
Right.
But then the rest of the movie, they address them as she.
Right.
But then I was just confused as to whether they were actually what gender they were.
Right. No, he's a dude.
Okay.
It's Dennis Leary is a dude who is a ladybug, and people think he's a girl, but he's not because he's a ladybug, and that's the
his
joke.
Friends like continue to call him she, just like in regular conversation.
Do they? I thought whenever they were doing that, they were
they
like,
do.
he says like, "Hey, whatever," like it's like they're being sarcastic at him.
No, because Stickman calls him, like, deliberately calls them she at several different points. And it's, like, not even in a mean way. That's just, like, how he addresses her, and she does it, and they don't react at all.
Right, I don't know.
It's just a weird thing that I feel like if they had, like, committed to anything, it would have been interesting.
Well, but that's the thing, is that, like, it feels like it's just, like, so totally not even on their radar that this is even a real thing, right? Like, they're clearly not trying to make any kind of statement about anything. They're not even, like, actively not trying to make a statement, right? It's just
they're just not making a statement.
They are not even aware.
Yeah.
Which is just, like, I don't know, it's fine. I mean, it's just, like, you can't even really be mad about it because it's just nothing. It's, like, not really applicable to any real life scenario.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. I don't get it.
Go ahead.
The last thing that I've written, and we could talk more after this because I think you have more, but like, does Randy Newman do anything other than Pixar movie music?
That's a good question. Hold on, give me just a sec.
Like, is he like a real artist who just like was famous enough that he did a bunch of Disney and Pixar stuff, or is that just like the only thing?
No, he's been a popular like jazz country musician for years and years and years and years.
Well, that's probably because I don't listen to country or
Yeah,
jazz, so if you combine the two,
I don't
I'm
know.
not gonna know.
Well, he's not, I don't know how to describe his genre of music. I mean, you've heard it, right? It's like not quite country, not quite.
It's like kind of country, kind of folk, kind of jazzy.
But it's just like, I don't know, he's just like old people music.
Yep,
But like, okay, so yeah, he has done some non-Pixar film scores. He did Seabiscuit, and he did James and the Giant Peach.
Okay.
He did my favorite movie, James and the Giant Peach.
I have no opinions about that movie. That's not true. The bugs in that movie are fucking terrifying.
Yeah, he's done a lot of big bug movies.
The little boy, James and the Giant Peach, doesn't have any eyes the whole movie, and we just decided that wasn't creepy, but I would like to go back in time and say, y'all, it's creepy. Right. It's not good.
I feel like the Toy Story score is pretty decent.
Yes.
It's not like anything spectacular. Like what's cool about it are like the pop songs he writes. But like the score itself, fine. Bug's Life, I would say, is worse than Toy Story because it's just like really on the nose and kind of obtrusive, I think. Because he's still kind of figuring his shit out, I think, as a composer. But then, I don't remember enough about Toy Story 2. I feel like Monsters, Inc. is probably his magnum opus. That's just like, I don't know. To me...
Would have nothing if I didn't have.
Like, his other Pixar scores are like Cars and all the Toy Story movies and Bug's Life and...
Randy Newman wrote Life is a Highway?
Yeah, by Rascal Flatts, Randy Newman.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Monsters, Inc. is the best one. Monsters, Inc. has a great score. I don't know. We'll talk about that within a few months, so I guess I don't need to
Okay,
cover
but
it
you
here.
got a friend in me. Come on, dude. That's like...
I'm not talking about the pop songs, though. I'm talking about the score.
Oh, okay.
Hum the score of Toy Story. Now hum the score of Monsters, Inc. That is Star Wars. Try again.
Are you sure?
Yes, that's Star Wars.
Hold on. I'm trying to think of the Avengers theme and I can't. That was going to be my good goof, but I can't remember it.
But yeah, like the Bug's Life score is like, it has that bit at the beginning that I like. It's like do 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 do. I don't know. It's good. I like it. But like, there's so many times when like they're flying and he's like just doing Flight of the Valkyries, but like slightly different. And, like, there's times when it's, like, they're marching, and he's just doing this weird march music, but also kind of Randy Newman-ized. And you're like...
It's got a little bit of that Randy Newman flavor.
And it's just like, this just doesn't feel particularly creative, you know? Yeah, anyway, Monsters, Inc. Fucking great score. Anyway.
We'll get there.
I really like that part where all the kids are hiding, and these grasshoppers walk by, and they're just like... Oh, we're gonna kill the queen, and what's up with you? Like,
do you like my new hat? I found it on the floor, and I immediately put it on.
Do you like my new hat? We're gonna kill the queen.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill the new queen with my old hat. Nope, other way around. I'm gonna kill the old queen with my new hat.
I don't know. That just made me laugh. I was like, "Wow, cool. Yeah. Glad that happened." And does it even really matter to the plot that they're gonna kill the queen? Like, they're trying to get him out of there anyway. It
just gives the urgency for the Flit to come back because Dot's mom's gonna get murdered.
And okay.
See, this is they do this thing with ants that every animated movie about any type of animal or ant thing does, where it's like, okay, ants have a queen, and the queen ant tells them what to do. So we have, like, the current queen ant, who's an old lady, and then her daughter, and then another daughter. And they tried to make this weird little family, like, structure, and that's just not how it works in real life. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules. This is B movie all over again. Okay. This isn't how this works. It's like in Tarzan, where they have the gorilla troupe, and they try to tell you that Kerchak only has sex with Tarzan's mom, and it's like, no, that's not how that works, son.
Okay. Okay, hold on one sec. So, okay, in terms of, like, the metatextual elements of this movie, I feel like a lot of this can sort of be construed as a metaphor for like filmmaking also, in terms of like in animation especially, in terms of like the manpower you put in versus like the recognition and payment that you get, you know? Because with the circus, they incorporate a really specific element of like people being artists and not being paid for their work, which I think is like an important part of this miasma of like criticism of capitalism.
Metaphors.
So I don't know. I feel like it makes me wonder what the conditions were like at Pixar in 1997. I wonder if they were making this kind of statement because it was bad for them and this is what they were trying to say through their work, or if it was good so they felt comfortable saying that about other people, you know?
I watched a documentary about early Pixar, and I don't remember a lot of it. And no,
cool.
Shut up, that's not what I meant. Anyway, do you think Flick would kiss his own clone?
No for Flick.
No, he wouldn't. He's a good boy. Anyway. But, like, talking about, like, really early Pixar, like, they were kind of on their own and doing their own thing.
Right.
I don't think conditions were bad enough that they felt that they had to make, like, a protest. I think it was, like, they were comfortable enough to tell a story like this. I don't know. I think your interpretation of this as a metaphor about film and art is a valid interpretation, but I don't think that's the main thing that they're trying to get across. I think it is very much about gangs taking over governments and people taking back. Like, it's very much a political story.
Right.
And I absolutely see how you get the artist's statement in that. I just don't think that was the original statement that they were trying to make. You are valid. I see you, and I respect you. But you're wrong.
I also, sort of near the end, though, I want to say that, like, the climax of this movie is really good. Like, it is
there's
really a lot of, like, reversals in it, you know?
Yeah.
Although I do have to say that I don't like that Hopper just gets ate by a bird at the end. That doesn't...
Just gets torn apart by baby birds.
Yeah, but it's like, that doesn't seem very earned, you know? Like, when they win, when they get that, like, last push and, like, Hopper dies, or... It doesn't even have to necessarily be that, but whatever it is that's, like, the final success, like, don't you think it should be something that the protagonists actually do? Like, a bird showed up.
Because you have that super cool scene where all the ants pick up Hopper and they put him into the cannon.
Yeah.
And I don't know what they think that cannon's gonna do, because he can fly, but it's whatever.
Shoot him away.
But then there's the coolest shot in the whole film where it starts to rain and you can just like hear it in the distance as it like comes closer, and you see that shot of like the wave of water coming, and it's the coolest shot. It's so good.
Dog. And
it's more like discreet rain droplets, but like it's very
like
good.
The power dynamics in like this sort of battle like switch back and forth a whole bunch of times, and it's super fun to watch because it's like genuinely suspenseful.
They like switch the power dynamics between Hopper and Flick a whole bunch of times. But then they also kind of like take the time to remind you that they're bugs and things like Mother Nature are what's gonna win every time. So like when the ants have the upper hand and they're gonna take Hopper out, but it starts to rain and that just totally puts a damper on their whole thing, I think is super interesting and cool. Because then Hopper gets the advantage again, but then Hopper is eventually taken out by nature again. He's taken out by a bird. Right. Like, I don't know. It's just weird. Like, I don't know. Like, nature having the final say, I think is a kind of a really cool theme in this movie.
But I would say that, like, the rain is cool because at the end of the day, the rain does give the grasshoppers the upper hand in that specific scenario. But it still, like, applies equally to both parties, you know?
Oh, yeah,
and totally. The bird is just like, I'm gonna eat the bad guy. So, I don't know. It's like...
Well, but they were attacked by that same bird earlier. That's the one that attacked...
Just because it showed up earlier doesn't mean that it's good.
Just because you put a gun on the mantle in the first act doesn't make it good, Chekhov.
I mean, you can have it... I mean, look at Power Rangers. The third act of that is all Chekhov's guns, but all of them are bad, and I wish they had it.
All of them are stupid. It's a bunch of stupid guns. Get your guns out of here, Chekhov.
I think I don't know if a Chekhov's gun is necessarily just a callback. I don't think that means quite the same thing.
Probably not, but I'll say
It's
it.
close. It's like one of those things that's like close enough that like people probably won't get upset
I'm
at
sure
you.
Chekhov's
But
gun has a very specific meaning that we just kind of adopted to mean like things set up earlier, resolving
it's
later.
like it just sounds smarter than saying a callback, right? So
yeah. So I'm gonna keep saying it. Chekhov can shove it.
Find me, Chekhov.
Chekhov, more like Jackov.
Do you think Chekhov would kiss his own clone?
Oh, absolutely. Only if it was in the third act,
Yeah.
though.
He would establish the clone in the first act and then kiss him in the third.
Yeah, you put the clone on the mantle in the first act, and in the third act you kiss him.
They kiss.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Bug's Life. Good episode.
God. We just didn't talk about A Bug's Life.
Yeah, we did.
Like,
We talked plenty about Bug's Life.
how did we sit down to make a podcast about A Bug's Life and then do this instead?
So, okay, we should say now that the next episode we put out is going to be one of our October Halloween episodes.
Is Spooky Scary Halloween Fest.
Are we going to do the same thing for Christmas, or is this just going to be Halloween for us?
Woo! What?
Are we going to do the same thing for Christmas, or is this just going to be Halloween for us?
I mean, I'm down. I'm down to watch some Christmas.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to do 4 Christmas movies.
Why
Maybe
not?
we could do, like, some movies that are just generally snow adjacent.
Like Die Hard.
Die Hard is, like, a Christmas-themed movie. Like, we could do Batman Returns. We could do Iron Man 3.
We can do every single Harry Potter movie.
We could do the... I almost said The Predator. That's not a Christmas movie. Hold on.
This is my favorite day when it's Christmas and all the children are sitting around the tree and opening their presents, and the dad's like, "Oh, look over there, Jimmy, behind the couch. I think there's a present that you left behind." And Jimmy goes over and he opens the box. He looks inside. It's like a new toy. And they're like, "Yay!" And you see like the dust like behind him like fall out of the chimney, and then the predator just comes down the chimney and kills all of them.
God, that's... Okay. That's really good, actually, for real, though. We could. I think a Predator Christmas movie is not a bad idea. See, it was in my head
That'd be fun.
because the new one was directed by Shane Black, whose like thing is making Christmas movies. But he didn't. He made it a Halloween movie instead, and coincidentally, it fucking sucked. So Shane, maybe you should just stick with Christmas movies. I think.
Shame.
Anyway. Yeah, I don't know. We don't have to make that decision right now. It doesn't matter. Nobody fucking cares. So,
Okay. Stay tuned for Halloween Spookfest.
Spookfest incoming.
Woo.
Maybe we'll watch Alien Covenant.
God, no.
Don't you want to see Michael Fassbender kiss his own clone?
No, I don't. Only if his womb explodes.
Oh, well, you're in luck.
Yeah, God.
Anyway, okay, so our secondary bit today, what did we decide on? We decided to talk about Star Wars?
Yeah.
So, okay, so of the many news items this week, the one that at least I am probably the most interested in is that Kevin Feige, being the like head honcho at Marvel, the guy who's like
the
head hombre at Marvel, who's like pretty much in charge of everything. He's like the architect of the whole like Marvel cinematic universe. They've just announced that he's going to be producing a Star Wars movie. And we don't know what it's...
Have they not said what one?
No, they just said that he's working on a project. So I don't know if it's...
Oh God, I hope it's not a Boba Fett movie.
I don't know if it's gonna be like one of the like Rian Johnson ones, or like a standalone one, or like maybe something on Disney Plus. It could be. Who's to say? But like,
who's producing the Obi-Wan movie?
That I thought we were all in agreement it was gonna be a TV show.
I thought that was still gonna be.
I don't think that's like fully confirmed yet. Hold on.
I only know a lot about Obi-Wan because that's Katie's favorite character is Obi-Wan.
Okay, so yes, it is going to be a TV show.
Oh, okay.
And
who's producing it?
Why do you want to know who's producing it?
I don't know. We're talking about producers. Leave me alone.
Deborah Chow just got hired as director, though. So.
Hi, Deborah.
Anyway, but yeah, I think it's really interesting because, like, and these people like Kevin Feige and Kathleen Kennedy, who are just like these big like figureheads for these companies, like their power comes in like their control over this whole thing, right? Like Kevin Feige.
Well, they're only the like constructors, and they're like only like big and powerful because they've been there from the beginning.
Exactly.
It's like their own thing that they've been building.
So it's like Kevin Feige coming in and doing a Star Wars movie. I have to wonder if that's gonna make any difference at all.
About anything.
Like if it's even gonna be a noticeable anything, or if maybe we'll see his sort of creative influence on it. I don't know. It's interesting to me.
Man, what's weird about the Star Wars franchise right now is that they're like, okay, we're gonna have the third of the trilogy, and that's gonna be the movie, and then we're gonna be making other movies that aren't a part of the main trilogy,
right?
Or the main movies. There's gonna be other things, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. But like when they're just like, okay, we're gonna make a Star Wars movie. Here's who's doing it. I just kind of like creep around the corner, and I'm like, hey guys, what movie are you making? What, like, I'm just like kind of like terrified. Right. I'm like, what are you doing? What is it gonna be? What is it gonna be? What are you doing? Is it gonna be a Boba Fett movie? I don't want a Boba Fett movie.
Oh, hey, you want to know what's fucking wild? They announced this director for the Obi-Wan movie like 3 hours ago when we're recording.
Oh, hey.
We just happened to start talking about it right after they made a decision about it. That's cool. Anyway, I'm psyched about The Mandalorian. Why is Werner Herzog in it? What?
What's The Mandalorian?
It's the new TV show. That's about...
Oh, what is it?
It's just about a bounty hunter that's like the same kind of guy as Boba Fett is, but he's not Boba Fett.
But he's not Boba Fett.
And Jon Favreau's directing it, and Werner Herzog is in it for some reason.
Okay. Do you think Werner Herzog would kiss his own clone?
Let me think about it for a second.
Boba Fett did kiss his own clone.
Yes, I think Werner Herzog would kiss his own clone.
Do you think any stormtroopers, or not, what were they called before? They
clone
were bad
troopers?
guys. Were they still just called stormtroopers? Clone troopers. Do you think the clone troopers ever
I think
kissed?
they kissed sometimes.
I think they did kiss. If I remember from the animated series, from Clone Wars.
Oh, there was a lot of kissing in that.
There was a lot of clone kissing.
Yeah, no, the clone troopers kissed each other all the time in that show.
Yeah, because they all had like that like army love. Because they all knew that they were gonna die together, right. So they're like, well, you're the only person around that I can kiss, and I'm gonna get shot by an alien, so I'm gonna kiss you now, me.
Oh man, I love kissing clones.
What happened to the original? I did this as like a plot point, or so, probably, I don't know. What happened to the guy that they made all of the clones?
It was Jango Fett. He got killed by Mace Windu. He chopped his dang head off.
That's right, and then Boba Fett, and then his baby picked up his head and
shed a single tear, I think.
And then got eaten by a big Gucci in the sand.
I like how long it took you to think of an appropriate word.
I guess because there was a lot of words that I could say, and I like kind of went through all of them, and I was like, man, a lot of these are really terrible.
I think we need a Sarlacc pit movie.
Yeah. Well, it's just like this like shot of the Sarlacc pit for like an hour and 45 minutes. And then in the last 45 minutes, Boba Fett falls into it and he eats it, and then that's the end of the movie.
That'd be pretty good. I'd watch that.
It's like at the Christmas time where you like put on those videos just like of a fireplace.
Yes, like a fireplace versus the
Sarlacc
pit. That's a really good idea, actually.
I'm having great ideas.
Yeah,
today.
I mean, if they put that on Disney Plus, people would watch it for sure.
Yeah, it's just like a Christmas Sarlacc pit.
Somebody said recently...
at the very end, Santa falls into it. Oh, yes.
Somebody said recently that they wanted to direct a new Star Wars Christmas special. Who was that?
I would be down for that.
I'm ready for a new Christmas in the Stars.
Remember when Chewbacca's son, Chungi, or whatever the hell his name is?
His name is Lumpa Waru.
I didn't know Chewbacca was a big racist.
So what's racist about that?
I don't know.
It just feels like
I feel it. Yeah. But oh god, remember when he just like follows the instructions to put a computer together for like 20 minutes in real time?
Right. God, that's so good. It was Jon Favreau. Jon Favreau wanted to make a new Star Wars special.
Good on you, John.
I want him to do it. I want Lumpy to come back.
Like, okay, I understood what was like, I understand like what was going on in their minds when they made the Christmas special. They're like, oh man, like, oh dude, Star Wars is so big. Oh, we gotta get like more ways to like get this to kids because it's like the late 70s, early 80s, and so movies are like, where it's still kind of like in the 50s where like movies are like weird and you can't get them.
They gotta make sure that it stays in the public eye.
We gotta get. Yeah, we gotta, like, keep people excited. And kids like Christmas. Like, there's gonna be a lot of, like, Star Wars toys for Christmas. Let's do a Christmas special. Like, I totally get that. But then what they did, just, like... Was it just, like, that we make the joke a lot of the times, or, like, where something seems like it was, like, 30 people working in separate rooms coming together at the last second. But that's, like, genuinely what the Star Wars Christmas special feels like.
That's a big move, though, is, like... I was reading a book about Batman recently when I was on a long drive, and...
it was called Batman Punches the Joker.
But that was one of the things that the TV show in 1966 did, was, like, that movie they made was, like, in between seasons. Like, they knew that, like, people would forget about it really fast, so they were like, Batman, 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 on TV all the time. But now it's summertime, and we're not watching Batman anymore. We gotta put Batman in front of some people. So they made a movie to put out that summer between seasons.
And it was exactly as good as you would expect it to be.
I don't know, it's just really interesting, like, how much that's not really... quite so much of a thing,
anymore, yeah.
And it seems like it would be the opposite.
You just pull a fucking Sherlock, where you don't make your TV show for like 5 years and expect us to care when it comes back.
I guess the difference is just that, like, things now just have to never stop.
Yeah.
Because otherwise we will dump their asses so fast.
Well, I mean, we do. I don't think that's true, though, because we definitely live in a society of, like, when media, like, goes on hiatuses, and we, like, just kind of, like, wait. Like,
right.
Is like just like being a fan of Steven Universe. Like, Steven Universe has the weirdest production schedule that, like, yeah, sometimes there's just like a month in between new episodes, and we're just like all okay with that.
But I think the difference is that we just have so much other stuff, you know?
Oh yeah, so it's not like there's other stuff. So when we don't, like, I don't know, there's not as much pressure.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I guess.
This conversation is not as interesting as I thought it was going to be. Sorry.
Sorry that the podcast bad.
Sorry, the podcast got bad there for about a minute or two, and I apologize for that.
Sorry about that.
Let's wrap it up, though.
You will find your reimbursement check in the mail.
I'll reimburse you for 90 seconds of podcast. Okay, so hey, Adeline, do you want to hear a 1-star review of A Bug's Life?
If it was cloned, would it kiss itself?
I don't know. I'll let you decide.
Okay.
This is a review by Patty Maddern on letterboxd.com. They say, Ants in 1998. What was this generation taught about them?
What?
Ants in 1998, period. What was this generation taught about them? With 3 question marks.
My name is Adeline McMurray.
And my name's Jackson McMurray.
It's allowed.
And there's no names allowed.
So, wait, are they talking about, like, the people who made this movie didn't know shit about ants? Is that what he's trying to say? Or is he trying to say that the children that learned about ants from A Bug's Life don't know shit about ants?
Or is it just, like... Is it trying to say, like, what are the ants teaching the kids? Are they, like, against the message of the movie?
Why are they so worried about ant education?
A lot of people on these reviews just write, like, quotes they really like from the movie, like, in all caps, as if, like, they're, like, repeating them, like, oh my god, like, that's so great, you know? But this person did that kind of review, but the quote was, the bird will work. It's like... Okay. I guess if that is what really got you, then sure.
You gotta work, bitch.
The bird will work, bitch.
You want a Bugatti? You want a Maserati? You want to eat Kevin Spacey? You got a bird, bitch. Are you laughing at me?
No, that was just really funny. You want a Maserati? You want a Bugatti? You want to eat Kevin Spacey?
You got a bird, bitch.